All right, everybody, welcome. We are recording. Welcome to our Sunday evening call. We're so excited tonight because we have a guest speaker who I actually got to hear, and I know maybe Andrea Yen, some of you might have heard, and Gabby in the Green Bay leadership group, Facebook group. But I heard you speak, and I was like, that's what I want everybody to hear. It's so good. I'm so excited. So I'm going to just read off a little bit of a bio on Kenzie. So she's from Lincoln, Nebraska, you guys. She has 2 kids, even though she looks like she's 18. I inserted that. Ella is 1 and Beckham is 4. She's been married for 2 years to her best friend. I love that. She loves Jesus, traveling, and health and wellness. And so we are just so honored to hear you share with us tonight. I know people are still going to be hopping on, but I want to give you all the time. So take it away.
Hi, thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to share. It was actually a crazy afternoon. We just moved to Waverly, Nebraska, which is basically Lincoln. It's really close. And we just set up a trampoline for my son in the backyard. And all of a sudden, these wall clouds come rolling in, and this storm hit, and all of our neighbors, like there's trampolines all over the town, flown everywhere, swing sets, like there were no tornado sirens, but everyone's like, there had to have been a tornado. So there's fences down. We strapped our trampoline to the house because we're like, okay, this has been up 2 hours. We're not losing this dang trampoline. So my husband's outside in the pouring rain, strapping up this trampoline, and all of our neighbors lost theirs. And so now all I'm thinking is we're going to have every single neighbor kid over at our house jumping on our trampoline because everyone lost theirs. So my hair is still wet from the rain. It's just like, you got to throw yourself together. You can do this anytime. Anyone can do this, honestly. So I'm excited to share a little bit of my story and you guys what really changed everything for me in my business. And hopefully you guys can take this, move forward with it in your business, and kind of actually, just really walk the walk of what being on mission is and pursuing people. But a little bit about me and my story is before Arbonne, I had said no to 7 other MLM companies. I was one of those girls that was like, you'll catch me dead before I ever join one of those like pyramid scheme things. So I used to make fun of girls I wasn't mean, but I was just like, I will never do that. I will never do that. And how silly of me to think that when my upline Molly Croker approached me and asked me to take a look at it, she had actually asked my mom to take a look at it. She went to high school with my mom, and my mom said no, but you should ask my daughter. And I was like, thanks, Mom, for volunteering me for that. So I met with Molly, and she started to share Arbonne, and we were at a point in my life. Financially, we were really, really struggling. I mean, our electricity had been shut off once. Like we were young parents, and just it was rough. It was rough financially. I was stressed in all areas of my life because of finances. So I was more of I was a short-tempered mom. We were arguing more as a couple, as a married couple, all the things. And so I was just kind of sick of living that way. I grew up in a family where my parents didn't have a lot either. They always gave us everything. I love my parents, but we never really traveled. We didn't do anything extravagant or have anything extravagant. And I remember my parents arguing about finances growing up, and I just remembered I do not want to give my kids that life. Like, I don't want to make my kids worry about the things that they don't need to be worried about, that adults worry about. So I was also kind of struggling to find my voice, not obviously searching for my purpose. And I just knew that I wanted something other than being a mom. Like that was my number one job. But for me, I wanted something else, something for me where I was making a difference in the world as well. I was searching for girlfriends. I was literally praying because I was new to Lincoln, that I just had great girlfriends, and not ones that I just like met on Instagram and went and partied with the next weekend, right? I wanted genuine friends that cared about me, made me better, and all the things. So I was praying for community. And God he definitely knew what he was doing. I would say he has a sense of humor, because here I am. in an MLM, but in an MLM business where I thought I would never be. And you guys, that was 3 years ago. So 2017 is when I started. And I actually, when I started, I think I just started because I was like, well, I could meet someone famous or win the lottery, and I'm probably not going to do those two things. So let's just give it a whirl. And then, of course, just like you guys know, the more that you inch into this business and you're around the people and you're around the culture and everything, like it's empowering and it's life-changing. And so I actually still 6 months into my business when I started thought there has to be a catch. Like, it can't be this good. Like, there's something that's going to come up that's like, we did something actually really, like, I was like, there's no way that a company is this morally and ethically like amazing. Right. And so it wasn't until I went to GTC, my first GTC, and I sat in the stands and I learned from top leaders in this company. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. Like, this is real. I feel home. I have hope for my future. We're not going to live this way forever. And that's where I was kind of like, okay, let's do this. And then also another time in my business that shifted is when my upline helped me realize, like, Kenzie, you weren't born to sell protein and lipstick. That's not why you're here. That's how we get paid. Yes, it's life-changing to share these products, but this is just the vehicle to allow you to walk in your purpose. For me, I have a big, huge heart, and I know calling for women's ministry, and I'm going to do that with Arbonne being the vehicle to allow me to do that with no time restraints, no financial stress and stuff like that. So a couple more things about my journey, just so everyone knows hasn't been a quick walk in the park. Every national vice president, I bet, can share with you guys, there's adversity and bumps in your journey. And so if you know there's going to be, embrace them, work through them, and keep going, because no one has shared their story and it's like, it was a walk in the park. All flowers and rainbows and unicorns. It was perfect. So my first 6 events 3 years ago, I had in 1 month, and they were all in person because social marketing, even 3 years ago, was not as big as it is now. I sold nothing. And I came home and my husband's like, are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, I think it's going to pay off. So I thought, maybe I just really suck at this. I don't know. But I was like, I'm just going to keep going. So I used to sweat so bad after calls, I'd have to change my shirt after, because actually naturally I'm an introvert. I always have been. So calls and all the things really, really freaked me out and made me nervous. My in-person presentations were roughly like 2 to 3 hours long because I wouldn't shut up talking, because I thought I had to share all the facts in order for someone to believe that this is as good as it is. And looking back, I'm like, their poor ears were probably bleeding at the end of that presentation. I've had to borrow money from my grandparents just to go to retreats to learn more about this business. I chose our global training conference my second time in this as a honeymoon, or not as a honeymoon. I chose GTC instead of a honeymoon because we couldn't afford both. I was like, hey, honey, I really think I should go to this for my business. Like, I think it's going to help. And he just trusted and supported that that was the right decision to make. So we never went on a honeymoon after we got married until I earned AIT. That was actually our first trip together, which was super cool. And then the next year I took my 5-week-old to GTC, and I don't recommend doing that. Just saying. It's great, but you do not retain any information. So it was hard, but I knew at the time I had to show up for myself, and not just myself, because quite frankly, guys, at the time I didn't really have a team. I had to show up for my future team. I had to be able to walk through those experiences and say, you guys, I did this at this time in my life, during this time in my business, and I didn't make an excuse, because I knew I was showing up for me, but I was also showing up for you. I knew, God had you picked out. I didn't know you before, Arbonne. Now I do, but you're a part of this journey, and you need to know my journey up until now, and not just assume it was sunshine and rainbows and flowers and all the things. And it really was what changed everything for me and my business was as I was going region. I've shared this on so many calls, and it's so good. Every time I share it, I'm like, I love sharing this story. So we went into qual in November, and can't say numbers. So I'll say okay, let me back up. October, we were striving for region qual. And I remember, I don't know if any of you guys have been in, I'm sure a lot of you have been, but if you've been in Arbonne since the middle of last year, a lot of people, and if you have social media, were posting the QV sticky notes. Do you guys remember that? People taking them down, tearing them down as they were hitting the QV goals. So I actually posted the picture on my Instagram November 1st. I archived it now, obviously. But I remember waking up November 1st and I was like, I'm so sick of focusing on QV. Like, I'm so sick of prioritizing sales volume and QV all the time, because every morning I wake up with the elephant on my chest, and every month I fall short of the QV goal. I'm like, what did I do wrong? And I had guilt and I had conviction and I felt like crap. And I'm going into the next month feeling like a loser, basically. And so I was working with my life coach at the time about what being on mission means. And it's basically like having the championship mindset of a team and really walking the walk of what Petter shared with us, you guys, and helping people flourish and helping people live abundant lives and focusing on people. Yes, the QV is how we get paid, but I was prioritizing the QV and the title and the paycheck before people. That's the honest truth. I was. And I remember in November, I'm like, I'm making a shift. I'm owning my business and I'm owning how we're going to work this business as a team. So I got on the phone with my team and I said, we're going region qual this month, but we're not going to talk volume once the entire month. We're only going to talk lives changed. So we set a goal of lives changed. You guys, honestly, at the time, I didn't even know what was equivalent to Q. Like, I just didn't care. I was like, I'll get to region when I get to region. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to have fun serving and blessing people and just bringing people joy and value. And that was it. And so my team, of course, was like on board. November was awesome. We went region qual, actually. December, first 2 weeks, pretty great. And then I was like, all right, team, where are you at? You're leaving me high and dry. Where are you at? And so I literally sat my butt in the coffee shop the last 3 days of the month for, I think, like, it was like 12 to 14 hours a day. I think my husband actually took off work. So I was like, I have to work it. Like, I have to finish this, even if it's on my own. And so I pulled in a huge, more volume than I ever pulled in my life personally. Left the coffee shop with migraines literally every day because I was staring at my computer and my phone for so long, and we still fell short. But in December, so that was December. In January, I actually earned the RVP2B trip or training in California. This whole training is at home office, and it's basically training to help you get to region. It's areas that have bonused consistently during the qualification period. In January, we had a number of lives change goal as a team. That's all we talked about. We stayed on mission and focused on people. And I knew while I was checking the volume that I would finish region while I was in California at RVP2B. And so I had a decision to make as a leader. Like I said, for the current time that I was in, but also my future team. And now I've done multiple calls for other nations and teams and sidelines and all the things about this very story. And I know God was like, all right, you're going to go through this and you're going to make an important decision, because this is going to bring fruit to people all, and all over Arbonne and your future team as well. And so we actually were at RVP2B. I hit region, and it was funny because the people that were there now know. They're like, how close are you? I was like $10. And they're like, why aren't you freaking out? Like, what? Like, you're going to be a region. And I'm like, because we haven't hit the number of lives changed. Like, that's my number one goal. Like, we got some work to do. And I decided not to share then that we went region. And you guys know Arbonne Home Office. They love on us. They're so good to us. I'm sure they would have made a huge deal about it there at the training. I could have posted on my Instagram and had so many comments. Congrats, Kenzie. Way to go, Kenzie. All the things. But I knew at the end of the day, like, this was such a pivotal moment in my business for forever. And so I knew we were not going to hit the number of lives changed while I was there. And so I just kept it to myself. And I came home. We continued to work the rest of the month. We finished the month. We finished Blue Pass region, and we hit the number of lives changed by 1. I mean, at the time we had to do. So we hit the number of lives changed. And then I shared with my team, you guys, we went region like a week ago. But I wanted to paint that picture for you. There were some sacrifices that would have been selfish for me to, all the praise and the celebration. Like, it's a team effort. It was a team effort, and we were all on mission to help change lives. And so we finished that month, surpassing our goal by 1 life changed. And then you guys, in February, what happened literally was only like, there's no explanation. I feel like he's like, all right, your heart's in the right place. You're prioritizing people. Here's the blessings. And we quadrupled. Our lives changed. Like we hit our lives changed like 1 week in. I was like, okay, guys, we're going to have to like really raise the bar. And then we just kept upping our goal. And I just could not believe. And when I say lives change, we consider life change at 150 plus new consultant or PC. So that was something where we looked at February when it was the end of February, which was also a short month. And we're like, what just happened? Like there's no explanation of how that happened. And then May we went nation. Like it was so crazy. And I really do think that like my entire story of what that is and you guys really walking the walk of being on mission and pursuing people, my entire story was for all of you and for so many other people in Arbonne to stay focused on the important thing, because when you pursue people, your paycheck, your title, your AIT trip, your promote, all the things will chase you. My upline went region pretty quickly 14 years ago. She worked for Nation for 14 years. She got passed too. There was a Nation that passed her. And so when she promoted to Nation in February, then she went from a regional vice president to a 2ID NVP. And she calls it her divine delay because she knew that entire 14 years she pursued a title. She was not walking the walk of living on mission and pursuing people. And so I want you guys to really look into yourself deeply and what is on your heart and what is your passion. We all have it. For me, it's ministry. For you, it might be horses or sex trafficking or whatever it is, dogs, whatever it is that we all have. I believe we all have something in our hearts that make us want to throw our hands on the table and stand up and rise up and do something about it. We all have it. And maybe you don't know it yet, but you will. The more that you hang around people that are better than you, the more you dive into personal growth, not better than you financially. I'm saying like people who are disciplined, who are joyful, who are giving, all those things. The more that you hang around people like that, that's one step closer you are to finding out your purpose and your mission. So being on mission does not mean, you guys, that it's working for the Ferrari 20-bedroom mansion. Okay, that's a little exaggerated, but just giving you guys some examples. That's more so one of your whys. That's something that's a little bit more selfish, which I believe that's equally important, right? That's all why we're here, is to bring more of something into our life. But mission is more others focused, and it's what you personally can offer to the world. So that's what we called our nation, is On Mission Nation, because I was like, that's so fitting. And you guys, it wasn't for the title or Maui or all the amazing incentives. Those are all worth celebrating. And I'm so grateful. I write my gratitude every single day because I'm so grateful for what Arbonne has given me. But we're just a nation for the purpose of having a bigger voice and a bigger influence, because as you promote, you know more people, you have more of an influence, you're able to reach more people. And so we're not going to stop working. I won't stop working as national vice president, because if I were on mission, right, and pursuing people, I never arrive. And I'm here to tell you right now, I promoted to region and nation, and the next morning I woke up the same person. And you will too. You're going to wake up the same person. I didn't have perkier boobs or a nicer body, or like whatever, nicer skin or better nose. You wake up the same person with a bigger voice, maybe a little bit fuller heart, right? You might be happy and you might have a little bit less stress in your life, which is great, but it's just one step closer in expanding your journey at helping more people. That's why we're here. And so how are you guys having an influence? How are you having a ripple effect? And you guys, you don't have to change the world. In fact, I really don't think one person can change the world. Sounds morbid, but I believe that one person can change their world. You can make a difference in your world. And if we all made a difference in our own worlds, then we can change the world. And so how are you having that ripple effect? Your Louis Vuittons, your Mercedes, and all the nice things are not going to be buried with you. Wake up call. But they're not. Your character and the ripple effect that you've had while you lived is how you're going to be remembered. And if you were to die tomorrow, what could you say that you offer this world? My mission is to help people feel worthy, loved, and heard. And that's what I'm calling my ministry, worthy, loved, and heard. I want to help as many people know that they feel that they are worthy and that they're loved and that they're heard. So you guys, it could be providing hope and health. It could be, I mean, your mission could be anything, really, to help horses, to help, it really could be anything, but it's others focused. If you don't know your mission yet, borrow someone else's, just like they say, like our why. So if you need to borrow your team's mission, we have a mission on our team. And then I have my individual mission too. And I share it with my team, and don't forget to share it with the world. Don't just keep your mission or your team's mission just for you. I've had so many people join my business because of what we're doing as making a difference in our team, not for our promotion. Because a lot of times women want two things: community and to be a part of something bigger than themselves. They just want to feel like they're making an impact somewhere. They want to feel like they're making a difference. And so really dive into your team's 21 reasons why. I encourage you guys to ask them to send them to you so you can read them, hop on the phone with them and say, okay, Kristen, why did you write number 8? That seems really important to you. Break that down with me. Because not only is that showing them that you're paying attention and you care, but it grows my mission because that's others focused. I want to help Jessa on my team get her air conditioned house. Like that's going to make me keep working, right? When there's days that I don't want to work for my extra couple $1,000 paycheck or, whatever. So break down those 21 reasons why individually. And I want you guys to know too, that you're worthy, loved, and heard, and you're worthy of living out your mission. And your whole goal is to live out your mission and then to help other people figure out theirs and help them walk in it too. That's it. So I want you guys to write down a question, and I want you to really, really think about it. And you might not know the answer right away. It might take you a couple months. It could take you a couple years. But why does Arbonne need your voice? That's your mission. I didn't know that for a really long time. A really long time. So why does Arbonne need your voice? Not Nina's, not Ashley's or Amber's or Andrea's, yours. Because you were brought here for a reason, and you're meant to live out and walk out that mission. You just have to believe that you are, right? You have to believe that you're here to do something bigger than you can even wrap your mind around. And so Molly literally saved my life the day, not changed, she saved my life the day she shared Arbonne with me. And so now I look at that like, we're not just changing lives, guys, we're saving people's lives. Because people need finances, people need time, people need friendships, people need community, people need they need to know their purpose. Those are all things that bring fruitful, abundant lives. My biggest struggle was not feeling guilty about having more. And so I just talked to a girl on the phone on my team, and she's like, I'm fine in my 1-bedroom apartment. Like, I don't need very much. I don't, whatever. And I said, but Lauren, you're worthy of having a nice home. As long as you're, for me, my number one's giving, but I believe that God wants you to have a fruitful and abundant life. You don't need, I love it when Peyton Scheibner, she went on a mission trip, and she came back and she shared this at a retreat. And instead of saying, I need to downgrade my home and my cars and all the things, because there's so many people out there struggling more, she came back and said, I need to get my ass to work because a lot more kids need my extra. And so we have an abundance mindset here in Arbonne. You can have an abundant life. You can have the nice things. You are worthy of having nice things and great things and many things when you're not idolizing them, right? But that was a huge, huge breath of fresh air and a big step in my journey to know it's okay to live an abundant life and know you're worthy of it. And Lauren just lost it on the phone call because she's like, I've never, ever had anyone say that I'm worthy of having more. People don't think that they are. And so our job is to go help them realize, hey, you're worthy of having more. You're worthy of living an abundant life. And this is the vehicle and this is the gift that can help you get there, and so many others too. So you guys think about that question as I close. Why does Arbonne need your voice? That's your mission. And it might take a little bit. That's okay. That is totally okay. Take it day by day. Give it your best to just be better, hang around great people, dive into personal growth, and show it consistently on days that you don't feel like it for all the people that are waiting to hear about this gift. And so many more yeses are going to be brought into this business just by yours. And that is such a blessing, and it's so exciting, and it's something to look forward to. Okay, that's it. That's all
Wow.
I got.
Oh my gosh, Kenzie, that was incredible. I'm sure everyone agrees. I know you have another call. We're just so grateful that you gave us some time tonight. And I mean, like, I'm blown away. It was so good. Thank you. I know
Okay.
everybody feels the same way.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I love sharing. I love sharing my story. And I hope that you guys, I can't wait to see you guys promote and put it into action, and just not have that elephant on your chest every morning, right? Just like be excited about who you can share this with every day. So go be on mission.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. Well, we are at 7:56, so that is it. I know some of us are staying on for a little quick meeting after, but thank you guys so much. I hope you got a lot out of that. Yes? It was amazing. I know, it was so good. All right. Well, have a great night. Thanks, guys. I'm going to stop the record.